Where do we do example ones? Examples go where? On our legit notes. Okay, so go ahead and write down example 1 on your legit notes. Alright, so let's talk about a couple of things here. What operation do I have? What operation do you see within this problem? What? Multiplication. Alright? How do you know it's multiplication? Yes, Chloe? Coefficient. Yes, and they are what? Side by side. And side by side means to do what? Multiply. Alright, but it just so happens that our coefficient is a nasty fraction. We just dove right in, didn't we? Like we went straight into the deep end and dove right in, didn't we? Yeah. Threw a fraction in on the very first problem. You should find a nicer teacher. I mean, who does that? Okay? Alright, so fraction it is. Fraction of 5 over 2 times x. And they're being multiplied. Tragic. Alright, there's a couple of different things here that you can do. Anybody got a great idea on what they want to do first? Yes, my dear?
Multiply it by its reciprocal.
Multiply it by its reciprocal. Now, you will hear me say this more times than you can probably count by the end of the year. We do not divide by fractions because it just looks dumb. Like it looks weird, right? If I were to go, okay, I'm going to divide by 5 over 2. Like that looks weird, right? Nobody does that. Ever. Okay? So we don't divide by fractions. Instead of dividing by fractions, we do what? Say that again, loudly.
Multiply by its reciprocal.
Multiply by its reciprocal. Now that's great that she said that. If you don't know what a reciprocal is, you don't really know what to do. What's a reciprocal? Yes, sir.
It's flipped.
Flipped. What do you mean by flipped?
Like, so the denominator becomes the numerator.
The denominator becomes the numerator.
Numerator becomes the denominator.
And the numerator becomes the denominator. So I'm going to take my 5 over 2x is equal to 15, and I'm going to multiply both sides of that by 2 over 5. Okay? I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. I don't divide fractions. I multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? What happens to my 2/5 times my 5 halves? Yes, sir. It becomes 1. Because really 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 2 is 10, 10 over 10 is 1, right? Or we just know that these both cancel out to make a 1, those both cancel out to make a 1, and a 1 over 1 is still 1. Do I have to write the 1? No, I can just get by with writing the what? I can just write the x. Okay. Is equal though, what about over here? What is happening over there? Yes, Dallas.
So you gotta multiply them.
I gotta multiply. Okay, how do I multiply fractions?
You put the 15 over 1.
Put the 15 over 1. Okay, and then what do I do?
And then you just, or cross out the 5 and 15 because they.
I could, or to multiply fractions, I can just go straight across, right? If I didn't think about simplifying. Like I could go 15 times 2 is 30 over 5. Everybody agree?
Yep.
I could simplify here if I wanted to, right? Make it 3 over 1. Alright, I'm going to just go straight across because that's what we're kind of used to doing. And so I would have, what is that, 30 over 5, right? And then I can simplify 30 divided by 5 is how much? 6. So what does x equal? 6. Okay. Now, can I double check that?
Yes.
Sure I can. Alright? I can take my x equals 6. So x equals 6. Some of you might like want to circle or box in your answer. Makes us happy, but never happens. Alright, and so then I can double check it. I can go, okay, 5 over 2 is really times 6 over 1. So 5 over 2 times 6 over 1, which would be 5 times 6 is 30, divided by 2 is how much? 15, which is what I started with. So we got it right. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yes or maybe? Okay, we good with that? Perfect. Okay, so what I was